Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And, you know, despite the reviews, despite lectures, all other kinds of crazy things that happen, we cannot forget to stay on task with this, my ever-going trip alphabetically through my music collection. I believe when we left off, we had a bit of Fugazi on our hands. Although since then, I've recently incorporated the new Foxygen EP into my collection. Woo! But nothing really awesome about the packaging. You know, just solid, really awesome record. You know what I mean? Just the music's good. You know, go figure. All right, so. Next, in my collection, I don't know if I own any more LPs. Maybe Bob Dylan rivals these guys, or maybe did at one time. I know I got rid of a few records that I had from him at one point, but as of this point, I'm not sure if I own more Fugazi LPs than other artists. Well, I guess Fugazi may be number one in my collection in terms of LPs I own. Fugazi. Red Medicine. Also got a copy of, what's this one? Steady Diet of Nothing. This one's solid. This one has a track off of it called what the hell is it called? Well, I can look at the back. Reclamation, that I think is awesome. And Long Division is great as well. This band features Ian MacKaye of Minor Threat, as well as Guy Picotto, who before the band was featured in Rites of Spring, and you know, they're just a really great, stellar, and just one of the first and just one of the best post-hardcore outfits. Just incorporating elements of hardcore punk, whether it be the fierce vocals or just the guitar tone, the guitar playing, the kinds of chords, you know, those power chords and the speed at times, but maybe kind of developing the melodies a little bit more, developing the song structures a bit more, getting past that simplicity while incorporating more development, more maybe technicality, maybe more detail to the songs, and maybe different kinds of emotions too. You know, really kind of fleshing things out, diversifying things while still kind of maintaining that punk energy, that punk ferocity. And you know, Fugazi, I mean, just covered a lot of bases over the years in terms of just you know, different instrumentation on their songs. I mean, you know, there are some songs that there's some moments that feature piano on this LP, Red Medicine, that I highly recommend. You know, if you're getting into Fugazi. Also, if you're getting into Fugazi, try out this little red dealie, which I believe is self-titled. Maybe not. You know, I'm not seeing a title on the front. I've never actually thought about what the title of this is. All I know is that I love it. What is on here that I think is great? Waiting Room is a great track, and as is Give Me the Cure. So, you know, check this out as well. Good handful of songs on that. This is great too. In on the Kill Taker. In on the Kill Taker is solid. And you know, maybe if you're starting with Fugazi, I mean, start here. Start with their first LP. I mean, this is definitely one of my favorites from them. Repeat. You know, just like so many great tracks on this thing. Really badass LP. Am I in focus? Let me make sure. Ooh, Fugazi, repeat. All right. Fun times. All right. Let's continue. What do we have here? Gentleman Jesse and His Men, introducing Gentleman Jesse and His Men. These guys are you know, I just showed all that stuff. Nothing really amazing about the packaging in those records, you know, not gatefolds or anything like that, but just really good LPs. Gentleman Jesse and His Men here. Sorry I didn't dive into that, I usually do. An album on, I thought this album was on a Ridiculous label or something like that was going to make me laugh. But I forget. Really nice pressing of this LP. Solid. But these guys are a power pop outfit. You know, like maybe a little bit of Elvis Costello influence going on here. Yeah, with the cover, but with the music as well. Really catchy tunes. Not exactly a new kid on the block in terms of style, but like really great tracks on here. Butterfingers, one of my favorite pop rock tunes. This thing came out in 2008, I believe. Let me see. Rest of My Days is great. All I Need Tonight Is You. That's not really how the song goes, but Al Green, Let's Stay Together. Some sleek, sexy soul. This is actually my mother's copy that she had when she was a kid, and gave it to me. Great condition. Al Green, man, Let's Stay Together. Smooth. Al Green is a cool bro. There's some jazz that a friend of mine, Derek, gave to me. Apollo Hall concert 1954. Live recording of Lionel Hampton. I actually haven't listened to it in a really long time. I don't even remember what it sounds like. I mean, he gave it to me, listened to it, but that was years ago. There are some things in here I haven't listened to in a while. This I have listened to recently, though. Herbie Hancock, Headhunters. If you're looking to get into funk and jazz fusion, I mean, really just seminal record and incredibly influential. Really great album. I mean, just so many funky freaking riffs, and the electric piano on this thing, the synths on this thing is great. And man, just like, if you don't get a copy of this record, at least look up the song Chameleon. Look up the song Chameleon. You are gonna love that bass line. All right, let's see. Ooh, this is a nice one. This is good. This is a good one. Anything crazy about the packaging here? We got some lyrics. A little collage, but this is Richard Hell and the Voidoids, which for some reason I remember when I first read that I was thinking, the Voivods, what? No, Richard Hell and the Voidoids. Richard Hell is like one of the original CBGB's dudes. There was this really terrible movie that was released in conjunction with this album to kind of promote the release of the album. Like Andy Warhol's in it. It's like really bad, but the album's good. Let me see. Love Comes in Spurts, man. Look up that song. Look up New Pleasure too. Richard Hell, New Pleasure. Blank Generation is great, and there's a Creedence Clearwater Revival cover on this thing, of all things. Great record, you know, great punk / proto-punk record. Jimi Hendrix compilation, smash hits. I mean, Purple Haze, Fire, Hey Joe. I mean, everything's on here, you know. Well, not everything, All Along the Watchtower. Well, you know, the hits. Unfortunately, I don't have any other Hendrix on vinyl. Other Hendrix I have is either CD or digital. So, you know, that's all my Hendrix vinyl, unfortunately. High on Fire. New High on Fire LP. De Vermis Mysteries. Really sweet gatefold that they put together with this LP. You get the picture of the band there looking badass. Get a picture of the lyrics. Really nice back cover that they got going on there. I like the kind of the old school labeling that they've got going on here. I like that A. Love the High on Fire logo. Looks classy. You know, it looks classy, and it's a heavy pressing too, which is good. All right, continuing. Whew! I believe I have another one from these guys. Hives. First two albums, back when these guys were just, you know, more of a solid punk rock outfit. We're a solid punk rock outfit. We're in the H's, dudes. We're in the H's. The Hives, I mean, not one of my favorite punk bands in the world. The album they followed this one up with was an extreme disappointment for me. Really started incorporating all these elements of the Rolling Stones, which, you know, isn't a bad thing, but, you know, just really, I don't know, just wasn't for me. It wasn't that great in my opinion. But this LP, though it does not have the flavor of this album, it is really catchy. It is fast. You know, it is a good modern punk record. AKA IDIOT. You know, Here We Go Again. It's another badass track. I mean, you know, a lot of the formulas that they used to write their songs on this LP are applied on this LP. But, you know, here's where they really, you know, had their best hits and stuff like that. You know, what else? Get Together to Tear It Apart, Die All Right, of course. What else is on here? Where is that song? Where's that hot, hate to say I told you so? You know, there are moments on this album that sound like, you know, hate to say I told you so, but that really kind of turned out to be the hit. You know, it's a decent, nice little reflection on the lettering. You know, they put a good cover together. Really nice packaging on this LP. Is the closing track on here? Or is the closing track... There was a nice little Find Another Girl. Find Another Girl is a nice tune. It's one of the nicer moments on here. Got the lyrics on the back too. Classy packaging on this. I think this is just a sleeve, if I'm not mistaken. No, we got lyrics here as well. Pictures of the band. Looking sweet. File under punk rock. Or whatever. Or whatever. Holy fuck! These guys are like a Canadian rock electronic music hybrid. You know. Okay. You know, I'm gonna have to cut it off here. We'll continue with this next time we do a vinyl video. How's that sound? Anthony Fantano. Vinyl? Forever.